Party Kaizoku uploaded a new video.
Kaizoku.
Enjoy the gameplay. This video is sponsored by TCGX. Check out the brand new TCGX app. It lets you run your own local card shop. List your trade binder and instantly share it with friends nearby so they can buy and trade directly with you. Check out tcgx.gg to get started. This video is brought to you by Adakai TCG. Shop the latest in premium holographic textured custom One Piece cards. Designed for collectors, crafted to stand out. Use code CARDKaizoku for 15% off your next order. This video is sponsored by gumgum.gg. See the most up-to-date Eastern and Western deck lists on gumgum.gg, updated daily. Be the first to see deck lists for new leaders as they emerge. With over 1,000 deck lists per set, gumgum.gg has all the top strategies as soon as they drop. This video is sponsored by Card Market, Europe's largest online marketplace for trading card games. So I was looking at the new OP14 leaders, and this red Law card, now with some of his support revealed for the set, seems actually pretty good. It stood out to me. I'm going to use this video as just a way to kind of, I don't know, like puke out my thoughts on the leader, and then maybe as I'm talking through it and with your guys' input too, maybe you guys can check some of the things that I'm claiming here to see if it's correct or not. I do think this might be a meta relevant leader. Who knows? But yeah, let's just jump into things. If this ends up being like a rambling video, I guess I won't upload it. But yeah, so what this Law does is mono red, 5000 power. So activate main. Once per turn, you can select 2 of your supernova or heart parts type characters, and you can swap the base power of the selected characters with each other during this turn. So we thought that might means that we're gonna get like a bunch of searchers or small characters that we can play out early, and then we can play a big guy later on that they can copy the power of and swing basically for free for like a 1 or 2 down investment. And yet, now that we've seen some of the OP14 cards, it looks like that is exactly it. So yeah, let me just go through a sample curve before we talk about some of the cards here. So it looks like most of the good cards, like the key cards in this deck, are odd curves. So let's just go odd. So 1 dawn turn, here's where we can play this Luffy searcher, right? Top 5 for supernova or Luffy card, or other than Luffy. So we'll start with that, fix our hand a bit if we need to, pass to our 3 dawn turn. So for 3, I would say, I don't know, like a Beppo, and then maybe a second Luffy, or even Basil Hawkins. Let's keep it a different card. So for 3 dawn, you can do this. Your leader swings for 5. Okay, it passes to your next turn, 5 dawn turn here. And on 5 is when you can start playing some of your characters to copy the power off of. So the main one here, or like kind of the only one, would be this X-Drake. So you play him out for 5. So here's where you can start utilizing some of your characters that you played earlier. So you can use your leader ability to swap this X-Drake 7000 power with Basil Hawkins 2000 power, because this guy has summoning sickness anyway, he can't attack. So you make Basil Hawkins into a 7k, you swing with it, 7k there, and then 5k with your leader. So it's like you gave X-Drake rush without using X-Drake to attack himself, is how I like to think about it. And yeah, I know Beppo would be more power this turn because you can give 2 down to your leader, but I think I want to entice my opponent not to kill my Basil Hawkins, because if they kill Basil Hawkins, he just plays another 2k power character from your hand, which could be like another Basil Hawkins. Oh no, other than Basil Hawkins, it could be like a Shashi Penguin, could be this Cavendish, could be a Luffy, right? So I think Basil Hawkins will be a character that your opponent doesn't want to kill, but we'll go into that in a bit more once I just finish out the curve. I have some more thoughts onto why I think this deck is intuitively pretty good. So it goes to our 7 dawn turn. We have another character to play on 7. We have this Zoro here. So the cool thing about this Zoro is even as rush. So you swing 8, and then you could use your Beppo to copy the power of Zoro. So it'd be an 8k, and then that can give 2 rested dawn to a leader or a character. So you can put onto either X-Drake or your leader. So we'll do it on leader. Here's a 7, and X-Drake himself can swing 7. So that's 7, 7, 8, 8. This is on your 7 dawn turn. And then we'll cap things off by going to 9 right now, because that's the biggest character in the deck so far. It's this newly revealed Trafalgar Law, 9 cost. So you play him out for 9. I guess probably Beppo would have died, potentially. Oops, forgot to go to 9 dawn. So Law also has rush, 9 cost, 10k rush attacker. So he swings for 10. You make, I don't know, your Luffy attack for 10 as well. He can give minus 1k to something. Have to click this 10 times and it can go to 10. And then you have 7, 8, and then 5 with your leader. So yeah, I feel like already with just like copying an active character that has summoning sickness, that kind of utilizes the weenies really well. But the fact that these cards have rush, I didn't expect them to give them rush. It's like you can attack twice with these characters, right? The Zoro and this Law are essentially attacking once themselves and then via a secondary body. So yeah, I think that kind of playstyle is really unique, and I think it's actually really, really strong, really amazingly strong. conceptually in my head. I haven't played these in any practice proxy games IRL, but just based off of my 3 years playing this game, that does feel like a strong effect. And then the thing I wanted to talk about is so you would think that like these 0k power characters, 2k power characters are just gonna easily die, and yeah, that is true. But you have to think about it this way: like if you had multiple of these out, right? If you had 3 of these out, if you swung with one of them, right? You copied the Zoro with just this Luffy here. On your opponent's turn, what do they want to do? Do they want to kill the Zoro, or do they want to kill your 1-drop Luffy? Right? If they kill Zoro, that's one thing that you cannot attack with for 8k for free on the next turn. So they'll spend all the resources to kill Zoro. If they manage to do it, that's fine. You still get to keep your Luffy on board. And then all you have to do is just play another Zoro the next turn, and then this Luffy can copy it for 8k again. So I do think like in the situations where your opponent cannot clear all your weenies, it's better for them to not clear your weenies at all. Right? It's either all or nothing. If they can like rest all your weenies and they have attackers of their own to attack into them, that's when it would make sense. But as long as you can keep one alive, right? Even if they kill Luffy, you have this other one that you can attack with the turn after. So they wasted like a 5k attack on a 0k power character, and it didn't stop you from being able to attack for 8k twice the next turn again anyway. Right? That logic kind of makes sense to me. So that's why I think it's incredibly aggressive. Might be the most aggressive red deck. The only issue that I can foresee is that it might run into trouble with card draw. Luffy is the only searcher in the deck, but the thing is, most other decks, when they play their searchers, they can't really use the searchers afterwards. All of our searchers become attackers. So having more than one searcher may be too broken for the deck. But yeah, like unlike Rayleigh that has like the Boa, Shakuyaku, and then the Luffy that can play into them, I do think Law might run out of steam. Right, none of the other cards in this deck really draw cards for him. They're all really strong though. So this might be more of like a rush down your opponent kind of deck, and hopefully it doesn't drag on. I think the more it drags on, the farther behind you probably fall. But you also have a rush option with this 2 cost here, so yeah, that's also really nice in the late game. Like for 9 Dawn, you drop the Zoro. If you had like a completely empty board, right? Drop the Zoro, swing for 8, and then you can Cavendish copy it to swing double 8k for 9 Dawn. That also seems really, really insanely strong, doesn't it? Now, the only other issue in the current meta is that there's so many freaking blockers. We need unblockable, right? So we do have access to it via this Luffy, who is a supernova. So I guess like worst case scenario, you could always use them to copy like with your leader ability, right? You swing 6 with Luffy, 6 with Cavendish. But yeah, if you do need them for the unblockable hit, I guess technically what you can do. So normally with Luffy, you would just attach all the Dawn to him. Right, that would make him an 16k unblockable. Or if you played him on the turn and attached the remaining Dawn, that would make him an 11k unblockable. But I guess technically, if you already had a Law on board, and yeah, if they have blockers, they can stop your Law, that's fine, doesn't matter. Because you can make this Luffy copy the Law and make him a 10k as well. And then yeah, if we did play him this turn, we'd have 5 Dawn left over. So that's 15k unblockable if we attach the rest of the Dawn onto Luffy here. So I feel like that's another way to utilize this Rush Luffy, because the 2 Dawn gives them unblockable. Other than that, I guess maybe with that Sanji 2k counter, this one here, it does apply to only Zoro. And I guess like your Searcher Luffy too, I guess. Right, these are the only 2 Straw Hats that you can give unblockable to. How would this scenario work? So you play out the Law for 10. On the next turn, I guess you could make Luffy copy the Law, so he'd be a 10k. Then you'd spend 2 Dawn to play Sanji to give this Luffy unblockable, and then you could do 18k unblockable this way. That's not too bad either, right? Not too shabby. So yeah, I think this might be a meta red deck that we're seeing in the making. To me, it seems really strong. I don't know. I had a feeling Shanks was going to be really strong too, so I'm getting the same feelings from Law, but like on the aggressive end of things. Law has suddenly become my most interested leader in OP14. And then he also has some like utility in his package as well, right? He has this Shambles card. It's a 3 Dawn. It's basically an event, removal event, because what it does is you select 2 of your opponent's characters with 9,000 power or less, and then you can swap their base powers. So if they're a deck that likes to play searchers too, like let's say it's a Zoro, green Zoro, right? They had a Tashigi here, they attacked with it, and then the Perona is on board that they can't really use. You can Shambles it, right? You play Shambles for 3. You can swap the power of Perona and the Tashigi, so that would make Perona the 7k, and then Tashigi the 2k. And then yeah, you just pop it with any of your weenies, like Cavendish can already attack 2k into it if you don't need them for anything else. That's pretty cool too, but yeah, there's a limit, 9k base power, so it doesn't let you kill like a attack spirit or block beard or anything like that. There's also a 4k counter for this deck, but only if there's a character with 8000 power or more, so this counts your opponent's characters too. The trigger might be relevant too, it lets you play a red character from your hand, but I'm wondering, like, it's very conditional. It only kind of activates on your own terms if you have a Zoro or a Law, but conveniently Law only costs 9, so you do have 1 Dawn active after that. Yeah, the saving grace might be the fact that it also checks your opponent's characters too, right? So if they have an 8k, that's when you would need a 4k counter. So yeah, it's good. I'm not sure if this would be run over Radical Beam if you did want to run a 4k counter. I guess it's debatable because this is searchable in this deck. Speaking of searchers, there's an event searcher too. It searches for Supernova and Straw Hat, randomly Straw Hat. But yeah, this finds everything in our deck basically, right? It finds all the Supernovas, and then some of the Supernovas are also Straw Hats too. That does mean you can run like this 2k counter Sanji that is not a Supernova, because you can still find it via the event. And this is like your source of unblockable that you can find for 1 Dawn potentially. That also means you have access to some of the other Straw Hats too. I think in terms of 2k counters, there aren't any in this deck. Were there? Hold on, let me double check. Yeah, they haven't printed any red ones, so you might have to utilize some of the Heart Pirates or Supernova, like past ones, which there aren't too many. Yeah, there's only this Beppo in terms of Heart Pirates. Oh, I spelled Supernova wrong, that's why. Okay, there's a Luffy too, the promo Luffy. So these would be your 2 searchable ones, but with the event allowing you to search Straw Hats, you might have access to some of the Straw Hat 2k counters. Right? Namely, some good ones would be the unblockable Sanji we talked about earlier. The OP14 2k Sanji might be good too, for like even more aggression, and also you have access to a blocker via this chopper. And yeah, if you don't want to like swing at face, a lot of these characters allow you to trade really easily too. This Zoro gives minus 1k power when attacking. So does this X-Drake, gives minus 2k power. This kid cheats out another character. You can flood the board, right? If you play out this kid into like the Cavendish, you can actually use Cavendish to copy the kid, and then you have a rush attacker for 4 Dawn. And then Shachi and Penguin also gives minus power. So yeah, very easy ways to like trade with your opponent. Minus 2000, minus 1000, they all add up because you're able to proc multiple of these out. And then the Law is also really great. So we mentioned that we don't have too many 2k counters in Supernova in red in OP14. Law kind of fixes that to a degree, because on your opponent's attack once per turn, you can trash 2 cards from your hand. You select one of your characters and then swap the base power of that character with your leader for 1 battle. So obviously you're going to pick this Law and your leader, right? Because you can make your leader at 10k, and that's like as if you countered 5k, right? So it turns some of your non-counter cards into counter that way, if you can think about it. You discard 2 cards, you're getting 5k counter out of it. But only once a turn, but that's still way worth it. Yeah, Basil Hawkins is just a sticky threat. They don't want to kill it because it'll just replace itself. And then Beppo, I'm not too sure if like Beppo or Shachi and Penguin will be the call for this deck. I don't think you want to run both, but Beppo, yeah, can give you 2 more Dawn to utilize to be even more aggressive. And as we saw, like the rush options with Zoro and Law. And then, yeah, if you're running the unblockable Luffy, that would be a nice deck option as well. So yeah, this is my most excited for a deck in OP14. As you can see, I'm pretty enthusiastic about it. I'm pretty hopeful for it. We'll have to see how it does in actuality, in practice. I did try brewing a deck list if you guys want to check it out. And here is the list. And also, this is my new version of my deck builder that you're seeing on screen. Probably going to release it this weekend, but I'm just using it for recording my videos. You can save deck list now in case you wanted to know why I've been working so hard on it. Here's a lot of like test deck lists I made just to test functionality, but this is the one that we're going to look at here. Right, so I think we can get away with 10 2k counters or even less just because of this Law. It's just up until we're at 9, before we're at 9 Dawn. We just kind of have to hope we don't completely die, which we shouldn't because we're a 5 life leader. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of my deck list, what you guys think of this leader. If you think maybe I'm being a little bit too optimistic about it, let me know too. I could be delusional, just stuck in my own delusion here, in my own wonderland. Just because I like Law as a character too, that could be some slight bias in there. But yeah, let me know what your guys' thoughts are, and if there are any other OP14 leaders I should take a look at for like an early brew like this. If you like the style of video too, let me know. I could do it for, I was thinking maybe Purple Doflamingo might be interesting. That would be like my next leader to look at. I haven't looked at all of them like too closely yet, but yeah, if you guys have any that you want me to check out, and if you guys want to list out some of the cool synergies too, so I don't have to do all the work myself, would appreciate it. Just let me know in the comments below, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Oh, subscribe to my channel too if you're not already, and bye.
Car D Kaizoku.